Today on the Artisan Central podcast, Austin takes a sip of another form of bubbly poison.
And the Toothless share this day in history yet again.
It's all coming up on today's show. Welcome to the Artisan Central podcast. Today's sponsors are
CrossStitchProductions.com, a multimedia company dedicated to excellence in puppetry and the arts. CreatureArtTeacher.com. Learn to draw and animate from artist Aaron Blaze. Sign up for his newsletter using a valid.edu email and receive a special limited time offer for an instant promo code offering 50% off any order.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Artisan Central podcast. This is episode 2. And the date is October 4th. I am Tim Michael, and I am your host. And of course, I have my co-pilot with me by the powers of the interwebs and all the way across the state in Meddy, Maryland. Please welcome to the show, Austin Thompson. What's up, man?
Hey, how you doing?
Doing very good in comparison to yesterday and obviously you today. Let's confuse our audience right away by saying that we have been in a rash of terrible traffic. Austin, share your story, my friend.
Well, it's pretty much the rule here is you don't go out at 5 o'clock. And I think that's the same in Orlando. You try to avoid driving at 5. Even if you get let off by your boss, I'm going to let you off early. You know, it's always like, no, don't. Not at 5.
Let me stay till 6.
Just stay here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, today I was driving home because we were going to record today. And when it comes to the divide of, the highway here, basically there's like 7 lanes. About 3 of them are going to DC and the other 4 are going to Silver Spring. And unfortunately, I was caught in the ones going to DC, and those do not move. Like, it doesn't matter what time of the day, honestly, they do not move. And the problem is everybody is like literally bumper to bumper, and they don't care if you put on a turn signal. They don't care if you are begging and pleading. You didn't realize, you don't know the area very well.
It's a mean place.
You didn't realize you fell in the trap of you are in the DC lanes and you just want to get to the Silver Spring lanes. And like, you have the blinker on, you're turning, and then you roll down the window and you're like, please, I'm just trying to I won't be in your way very long. And then on top of that, my car has a water pump issue, so it overheats if it stands still. Like, if it's driving, it's fine, but if it sits, it just overheats. So
that's
steam
interesting.
Is starting to, yeah. And then you have those guys who are really smart who roll down the window saying, hey, your car's overheating. No, kidding. No,
I'm not Thomas the Tank Engine here. I have an issue. Just let me in.
No, it's cool. Mine runs on steam like a train. It's supposed to do that. Yeah. So that they're like, hey, you should really get off the road. It's like, I'm trying to.
But you're not letting me over with my turn signal on. I know how you feel, man. Over here in Florida, yesterday, we were actually supposed to record yesterday, and that didn't pan out so well. But that was because my usual route that takes me about 35 minutes to get home, and that is, if any of you guys know Florida, which probably many of our listeners don't, that's okay. You get on, from where I work, you get on a place called I-4, which is already a complete mess, and you take that to the turnpike. That exit, just to get from I-4 to the turnpike, can take 15 to 20 minutes in heavy traffic, and I can tell you it's only a couple thousand yards. I'm not even joking. You get off and you get on the next, just like that. But it can take 15 to 20 minutes to get on that, depending on traffic. And like Austin said, I get off at 4:30. If I do not get out the door of my office at 4:30 and get to the light at like 4:35, I'm going to be stuck in heavy traffic, just like that. So I took the turnpike, and I took that all the way to a place called 50, Highway 50 or Road 50 or whatever you would call that down here. And there was traffic as far as the eye can see, and there was no way. So I skipped the exit, which I never should have done. Because as I'm driving down the road going, there's got to be another exit here somewhere, a sign passes me. That sign says, next exit 11 miles in a place called Tavares, Florida. I literally added an extra 30 minutes to my drive to get home. It was late.
That stinks.
and Austin had other plans, and he was waiting for me patiently, and I wasn't there, and I let him down.
I had to go to Krav, man. I had to leave you. This
is true. Yeah. I mean, in a place where you live, you have to protect yourself, and Krav Maga, that'll do it.
No, I'm a busy person, and
this guy jumps out of.
But you know what's really terrible about the traffic stuff. What's terrible, like you said, when you just have like a few hundred yards to go, or not even a few hundred yards, you just have a few feet to go, and you're sitting there in your car, and you look over to the right, and on the side of the road, you see somebody walking. And they're walking
faster than you.
Or like you see somebody with a walker and they're beating you. And it's like, what is the point of this?
Hi, Shunny. Makes you want to get out and Krav Maga them just a little bit.
Get a bike.
Slow down. You're going over the speed limit.
Well, the crazy thing here is most people don't even have cars. Most people actually, because of the metro, most people, because one, there's nowhere to even park your car.
Yeah.
Like mine, I got to park it on the side of the road. And what's really irritating is the people like on this road, they have like garages. They don't use them. They still park their car on the side of the road, which takes up more. Yeah, it's a mess. It's really a pain to even have a car here. But the problem is things aren't that close. I mean, you still, so.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I know exactly what you mean, man. You deal with it and you push on now. And of course, you got some of those cities where a car isn't necessary, and you may as well take a bike and swerve in and out. I like my little motorcycle when it gets heavy traffic. Sometimes I can just kind of do my weave thing, and I'm good. But
get one of those remote control wheelchairs.
Pass the guy on the walker going, I'm winning.
Just take one from like Walmart. Go.
All right, too cool, man. Well, hey, it looks like we made it through another day and to another podcast, and we need to get the show on the road. Guys, if you have any interesting comments that you'd like to share with us, you can send us an email, and you can do that to the artisancentralpodcast@gmail.com. We would love to get your emails. artisancentralpodcast@gmail.com. Let's go ahead and get this show started, shall we? All right, so let's go ahead and get on with the next segment. This is called It Happened on This Day. This segment of the show is sponsored by
.comwebcomic.com. Follow a Dot in his adventures around the internet on a webcomic that will never let you see websites the same way again.
Back when I had most of my teeth.
It happened on this date way back when.
On October 4th.
The year is 1537, and the first complete English language Bible, the Matthew Bible, is printed with translations by William Tyndale and Miles Coverdale.
The year is 1957. The space race begins when the Soviet Union launches the first artificial satellite Sputnik. To put this into context, Sputnik weighed 184 pounds and measured 22 inches in diameter and circled the Earth every 95 minutes at almost 2,000 miles per hour. Sputnik 1 fell from the sky on January 4th, 1958.
The year is 1927, and work begins by sculptor Gutzon Borglum on the face of Mount Rushmore in the Black Hills National Forest of South Dakota. It would take another 12 years for the granite images of four of America's most revered and beloved presidents to finish. The presidents depicted are George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Abraham Lincoln, and Theodore Roosevelt.
The year is 1981. Olympic star Bruce Jenner added the title of actor to his resume. He joined singer Harry Belafonte on their first dynamic roles on NBC's TV Gambling White Tiger. The storyline involved Jenner as an object of reverse discrimination upon his enrollment at the famous all-black Southern College.
The year is 1933. Esquire magazine was published for the first time, considered racy for its time. Esquire today described as sophisticated reading material.
The year is 1931. Extra, extra, read all about it. Gumshoe Dick Tracy debuted on the Detroit Mirror. A week later, the New York Daily News and hundreds of others picked up the Chester Gould comic strip.
The year is 1854. Honest Abe Lincoln made his first great political speech while attending the Illinois State Fair in Springfield.
Back when I had most of my teeth.
It happened on this date way back when.
Help us, for we are ignorant.
All right, children, the phrase of the day is...
The phrase, 1 foot in the grave, meaning to be near to death.
Origin: the first example of the expression in print is found in Philip Messenger and Nathan Field's play The Fatal Dowry, a tragedy, in 1632, when one foot's in the graw. 7th century listeners would have had a different understanding of this than we do now. Foot was then used as a verb meaning trip or catch. To catch by the foot was to hold someone as if in a trap. A figurative expression like 1 foot in the grave would have then been understood to mean trapped by death with no possibility of escape. Go home, my children! You have heard enough idiots speak today!
Well, hi, everybody. You know what? We had wonderful plans of doing part 2 of the interview with Aaron Blaise, but of course the unthinkable happened, and for some reason the file has disappeared. Now, no worries. I am working on getting Aaron back in, and we're going to re-record some of the stuff that we have lost, and hopefully, maybe it's operator error, maybe I'll find it somewhere in my files a little later on. So, because I've lost that, and once again, I'm terribly sorry about that, guys, I have a backup plan. I have a backup person. This guy has always been my wingman, and since I was not able to get Austin in to maybe do a little chatting with me, this guy is always there and ready to help me out. His name is Chris Hernandez, and he's my best friend and always supported me. Go ahead and say hi, Chris.
Hey guys, Plan B is here.
You go ahead and tell him a little bit about yourself, man.
Well, guys, my name is Christopher Hernandez. Tim loves to harass me by calling me Topher.
Oh, yes.
So if by any time you hear him mention Topher, or if on the Facebook page, if you see Topher making any posts, that's me.
The Tophinator.
I used to work at Disney. I was a lifeguard. I've just worked so many miscellaneous jobs. Right now, I'm currently going to school to become a math teacher. Want to fulfill my dream. Maybe move up somewhere north, start a family. But so far, I'm just enjoying life one step at a time.
It works. And just to let you know, it looks like we might have a dropped call coming up soon, just to warn you. But we're working through kind of a... We're still here. We're still working. I think we're still here, yeah. So anyway, we got a lot of fun stuff ahead of us in the future. We're still trying to figure out how to fit Chris in. This guy is a knowledge of many, many different things. This guy understands video games like the back of his hand. He always beats me. That's why I always make sure I'm on his team, not playing against him. But anyway, we have no idea what we're going to talk about, but I think you got some stuff planned on your end, don't you?
Just a little bit.
Go for it.
When you had called me, I looked up on Google thinking, what on earth could I look at in the next 5 minutes that could be humorous or at least somewhat entertaining?
Mm-hmm.
So I thought to myself, what do I love more than little cats? Let's see. Lawsuits and ridiculous stories. So I just put into Google funny lawsuits, and a whole bunch of stuff came up, and I was just skimming through some of them, and I think I died of how ridiculous some of the stuff was.
What do you got?
I'm so glad to be living in America right now. So, I guess the first one, like the biggest one, and since I know everybody is a big fan of the movie Frozen from Disney, Disney is actually fighting off a lawsuit right now from someone named Mayim Bialik. I'm so sorry for probably butchering that name. But a Peruvian author is claiming that Disney plagiarized her autobiography called Yearnings of the Heart, and they essentially plagiarized the plot, the characters, and the story, all of it. And this is a novel from 2010, and it's just remarkable that you go through reading this and it's like, wow, did Disney really just do this? What are your thoughts, Steph?
Well, I mean, we've been talking a lot with Aaron, who has a past history with Disney. So this is actually kind of fitting. I think we're finding the darker side of Disney here in this conversation.
It has a very dark side.
Yeah, it sure does, doesn't it? Well, and you got to wonder if there isn't more going on. Maybe it's not so much the idea of maybe she's in a lawsuit with him. Maybe Is it definitely a book? Is it a real book that you can see, like it's been in sale since 2010? Wow.
Yeah, I'm actually looking at the cover right now.
You gotta wonder if maybe she sold them rights and then has found some kind of way to twist the rules. Because I mean, you gotta think that Disney has some kind of major, backup team that's ready with, for lawsuits and all that sort of stuff. You think they'd have a backup plan.
I'm beyond positive that Disney would have an Avengers team of lawyers ready to just tackle
Avengers
that might come their way.
Yeah, what's the term that they use? Avengers come together, or whatever the whatever the big line is. Now, definitely, dude, I'm totally thinking that they're gonna, quickly knock that down. Have you seen any more on that so far?
Well, actually, before I saw this, I saw a couple of smaller things.
Mm-hmm.
Not really enough to like talk about,
mm-hmm.
but it definitely looks like this movie has gotten a lot of attention.
Mm-hmm.
So
in the legal area or in the normal sense in like TV?
Oh, I mean, both of them. First off, Frozen is let me use the words that they have here. The studio's highest grossing animated movie of all time.
Oh boy.
For just for starters, just to throw that out. And it hasn't even been out all that long.
I have to admit,
so I'm sure it's still making more money.
I don't know about you, man, but I am so tired of that song. Absolutely sick of the Frozen song.
I've heard it twice.
The Let It Go song, you've only heard it twice.
Yep, I've heard it twice.
I'm on about 2,000 times, and yeah, I had a gig.
My condolences, Tim.
I know.
My condolences.
I had a gig out at a kids. It was a father-daughter dance at a local church out here, and it was like a church / academy, and it was really cute until the girls all ran up to the front of the stage and grabbed the microphone and all started shrilly screaming out the words to Let It Go. And my wife and I are in the back, and I'm trying to draw caricatures and stuff, and we're both just cringing. It was crazy. I mean, of course, these girls knew every single word, but it's like, okay, ow, ears. I don't have anything left. It was pretty fun, though. I mean, the gig was fun, but I think that how there's a song that you absolutely love, and then at a certain point in time, suddenly you've heard it so many times, it's just absolutely sickening.
I know exactly what you mean, Tim, but I never loved that song. I've watched the movie once. Personally, in my humble opinion, I thought it was okay, but for me, they killed it with too much music.
Yeah.
And not only that, you're so used to the hype of a Disney movie to where
so true.
You've got your good person, and then you've got your bad person. And there's a fight at some point.
Exactly.
And there's a life lesson involved too, right?
Yep.
But in this one, it was just kind of just watching a story unfold with a lot of singing. I didn't feel very, hype about it at all. Like, you know how when people, like, everyone tells you about a movie and it's so great, and so you have such a high expectation of it, and then you go watch it yourself, and you wonder why you actually bothered to see it.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of how I felt about it.
I admit, I think Mandy and I went and saw it twice. I'm pretty sure. And I mean, we really
I'm sorry
liked it.
for not having money to just throw on the ground, Tim. I apologize. Because then maybe I would have watched it twice if I just had money to throw at the wall.
It's so true. It's so true. My wife does all of our budgets, so I never know when we throw money around or not. And speaking of which, tonight, and this is jumping off what we're talking about. We'll jump back on that in a second. But we're going to go out to Aji Sushi over here in Winter Garden tonight. If any of you guys
Way
know.
to make me feel jealous, Tim. Make me feel jealous.
I know it's actually been a while. Let's talk about this real quick. Chris introduced me to sushi quite some time ago, and at one point in time, I knew for a fact that I detested sushi. And Chris and I went I think we went to Crazy Buffet in Orlando, and next thing you know, I'm converted for some strange reason. And Chris, you used to work over at Aji Sushi, didn't you?
Yes, sir, I did. Now, in my personal experience, I never liked sushi until I worked at that very sushi bar and hibachi grill, known as Aji. Now, my brother, who was a sushi chef at the time, he worked there, and just one day he walks up to me and he hands me some sushi so I can eat while I'm working. And so I figured, you know what? I haven't eaten in about 9 hours. Why not? And I tasted it, and it was like gold in my mouth. Delicious. So ever since then, I've gotten more into sushi, and I got to try a whole bunch of the different culture involved with it, and I just fell in love with it. It's absolutely amazing.
What's your favorite sushi?
Oh, I have so many. If I had to name two off of the top of my head, it would be the volcano roll, and it would also be what I kind of know as what's called like a snake roll. It's like a grilled eel, and it's delicious.
I got the volcano. I tasted the volcano roll from you for the first time, and I definitely have to agree about that. So, if any of you guys have a favorite sushi roll, of course, we would love to hear about it. Email us, artisancentralpodcast@gmail.com. And
it would be awesome if we could do a taste testing.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Sushi.
That'd be really fun. That'd be a good idea. Austin's actually doing a taste test of different kinds of sodas. So I think it'd be kind of fun to do a taste test of different kinds of sushis. That'd be kind of fun. You and I could totally knock that out of the park.
Oh yeah.
We'll have to see if we can do that sometime. You and I we need to go out to a sushi place and just get like a bunch of different kinds and just like record a whole bunch of them at once. I think it'd be a great idea. That way
we just need to find a place that has like a sampler.
Yeah, exactly. A sampler pack. Yeah, of all of them.
Yeah.
Of course, most of them I'll probably be like, yeah, okay. Yeah, where's the volcano roll, folks? Can you get that out for me again? I'd appreciate that. Just.
Yep.
But hey, we'll do what we can. I think it's a really good idea. I will keep that in mind. That'd be something fun to do. Jumping back to Frozen. I don't know what your theory is on music. I admit I really did used to like the Frozen song, and the reason I did is because there's something. I have a philosophy. You want to hear my philosophy?
Of course, Tim. I would love to hear.
Of course, yes. That's why we're here, right? But
talk.
Okay.
Cough.
So cough. Okay, I see. I thought you were saying talk, but no, you're saying cough. You are. I was thinking of the. You are putting me down. You are hurting me, sir. But here's my philosophy. Good music, like honest to goodness, good music, is made by something that I like to call sweet notes. There are parts in a song that are kind of the epitome that make up the song, that when you hear those couple of notes, it inspires you to want to listen to it again. There are certain parts of a song that you just gotta love. Whether it's a hard beat where you hear this song and then next thing you know you get these hard drums that come out of nowhere, or a singer who just seems to hit three notes that sound so perfect together that you just want to hear it again. And Frozen was one of those songs. And I guess it's not Frozen, it's Let It Go was one of those songs that had that. I don't know about you. You have any songs like that?
Well, personally, I'm the kind of guy that when I hear a really cool song on the radio, I Shazam it so that I know the name. And then I go home and I listen to it for about the next 8 hours straight.
Is Shazam...
That's the kind of guy that I am.
Is Shazam the...
It's the app that you play like a portion of a song that you don't know the name about, and it gives you the name.
That's cool. That's very cool.
Yeah.
I know they used to have that, but when I saw that, and when I tried it, they were like, yeah, you have to pay per attempt or whatever, which I thought was absolutely stupid. They're like, yes, you got to pay $1.99 to turn on our system so that you can hear what this song might be.
That's ridiculous.
I know. All right, so let's jump off of this to a couple random questions. Are you an Android or an Apple person?
Are you talking to me?
Yes.
You should know this.
And I know all the answers about you, but I'm sharing it with our new fans who are listening to one of their new co-hosts on board the Artisan Central podcast.
It's kind of easy to forget that point since we're just talking. But in any case, I am an Android guy.
All right, and why are you an Android guy?
Because my parents gave it to me. Money to throw at the wall, Tim. Money to throw at the wall.
If you had an unlimited supply of finances, would you be an Android guy still?
No. I would be a pay someone else to make phone calls for me kind of guy.
Oh, now that's just lame.
No, that is financially irresponsibility.
Ay.
All right, but no, for a serious answer, I would probably contact BMW and ask them to make me a phone.
What would this phone have in it?
Everything.
Yeah, would it have both iOS and Android operating systems on it?
Well, right now I'm rocking the Android.
Yep.
But a while ago I used to rock the iPhone.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not the actual iPhone, but the iPod.
Mm-hmm.
And I had it hacked and jailbroken and whatnot, and I was able to put on an Android iOS onto the phone. So pretty much I had an iPod with an Android iOS. So at the end of the day, I think I'd still be an Android guy.
Oh, yeah. That would
Something
make
about
sense.
the interface, how user-friendly it is.
Mm-hmm.
When I had the iPod, I kind of had a little issues. Like some of the time, it would just drop what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it got a little frustrating, but I like Android.
Yeah, I have to agree. And then what about PC or Mac?
That's a hard one. I like Windows. I like HP and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of an actual computer that I would use for miscellaneous things and like schoolwork, things of that nature,
mm-hmm.
I would use the HP.
Okay.
Now, in terms of video editing and actual work and stuff like that, I would use a Mac.
Really?
Yes.
What do you think? Have you heard about the new Mac Pro?
Not really. I might have.
If you get the chance, man, I dare you to look it up. You will cry. The Mac
I'm
Pro
at Google right now. Let's
All right.
see, Mac Pro.
And look it up and get ready to be absolutely astounded. This thing is literally like 9 inches tall, and yet is the most powerful Mac you've ever seen in your life. It is ridiculous. Radio silence to see if he finds it.
I'm looking. I have to scroll down in order to see it. What?
I hear your scroll. I hear your mouse. Ring, ring, ring. It's like I hear you scrolling.
Well, all I see is this circular device. It looks like a black version of R2D2. R2D2. Thank you.
That is the new Mac Pro. No joke.
So, does it have like a projector to, I don't know, project stuff onto my wall?
Yeah, you could plug a projector into it. It is, dude, it has a ton of plugins on the back of it. You have no idea, man. This thing is loaded with tech.
Let's see. Okay. I mean, it looks very different and innovative.
It really is.
Do you just plug a monitor into this?
Yeah, exactly. You plug in a monitor. It's all Bluetooth. If you want to, you can have a Bluetooth mouse and keyboard. Its functionality is ballistic. It's running, I want to say, its USBs are like 3.0 USBs. It's got Thunderbolt, and it's got Firewire cables, and I mean, out of each one of those USBs, I think you can literally run like 6 to 10 other USB devices off of it. So if you got one of those expansions, you know, where you can take one USB and turn it into 3 or 4, you could literally run like 10 to 12 of these. I don't remember. It was some ridiculous number that they were mentioning on their keynote when they announced this thing. It was awesome.
Wow.
And
that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But however, it just sounds like it's my life savings. So
it is, yeah.
I'm content with my little laptop here.
Of course it's the life savings, man. But I mean, if you want honest to goodness editing for like movies and stuff, I was talking with Aaron, and I really hate that we lost this audio. I'm praying I can find it for some stupid reason. But he mentioned that he would love to get his hands on the Mac Pro, and he said you could make a movie on the Mac Pro. And I mean, this is a guy who's worked on this stuff for years. So I mean, like,
Nice.
how cool is that? I mean, seriously, Apple needs to be getting a hold of that, that comment from him and putting it up on the front of their website, like Aaron Blaine. Sorry, Aaron Blaze says it's awesome. It'll make a movie. I think it'd be pretty funny. But nah, dude, that is the top of technology. So, what do you think of the new iPhone? I mean, like, obviously
iPhone
you've seen,
6?
you've seen all the hype about it right now, right?
Well, I'll tell you what I did see. I saw the video where everyone decides to bend it in half and break it. So my first impression of this glorious phone that everyone's talking about is people breaking it.
Exactly.
And breaking really, really easily.
See, and a lot of other larger companies right now, like there's some testing companies that have supposedly tested it and said, look, it doesn't break at all. Here's a muscle man. He is bending it. And it is not even breaking. Oh, you need to know he's a muscle man? Look behind him. There's a whey protein behind him. I mean, it's like, are you kidding me? And I don't know, man. There are so many people talking about it bending. It's hard to believe that it wouldn't,
Well, in the video that I saw, the gentleman talked about it briefly, and he said, I'm a little scrawny guy, so let's see what happens. And he literally just took it out of the box. He turned it on. You saw the screen glow. He's like, all right, guys, here we go. Snap. It breaks. Like, literally, just like that. And so I continue watching, and he tries to turn it on, and he's like, yep, screen doesn't work. And he's going through what it should do, and it's not doing anything.
You know that these are people who are either really hoping to get money back for making these videos.
Yeah, I know, right?
Or they're doing really well for themselves on YouTube and they can get away with it. Because, oh my word. I mean, I'm watching this guy. I mean, seriously, the iPhone 6 Plus just came out that day and they're back ordered by like 30 days right now. I mean, that's crazy. And yet, for some reason, even with all that in mind, they still, have it all on back order. And these guys are going, hey, I'll just take mine since I waited 9 hours at the store and I'll bend it in half right here. And it's like, you've got to be kidding me, dude. Now,
I have a friend who works for Apple. And she's one of the people that is on the phone. Like, she receives phone calls from all the angry people, essentially. And she's had hell to pay these last 2 or so weeks with the iPhone coming out. And she's had so many calls of people who break their phone looking to see what Apple's going to do to compensate them for it.
And it's just going to stay that way. I mean, they're going to have to recall all of them, and I do mean all of them. And then they're going to have to start from scratch again, and be like, oh, well, here, for now, we're going to give you these super unbendable cases that you must put your iPhone 6 Plus in.
Unbendable cases.
Exactly. I mean, it's going to be like, yes, you have the bendable phone. Here's the unbendable case. There's someone out there who's going to make this thing and be like, I'm going to make millions. And then everyone's just going to take their phone in and just exchange it out. I mean, the thing is, all right, I'm making a comic about this. It's going to be up soon. And if you guys don't know about .com, that's my website where I put up funny little stories or stories about different websites. And right now I've done one comic on this. You can see it on the website right now, .com. And you'll see that it's my website, which is .com talking to Apple. And they're looking over an iPhone 6 Plus. And, I mean, I'm not going to spoil it for you because I want you to go to my website, see the comic, and obviously fill up my website counts. But on the
Priorities, Tim.
Huh? Priorities, exactly. But on the second podcast, the second comic that's coming out, we're going to have Samsung talking with Apple. And as they're talking back and forth, Apple's saying, the reason why we haven't let out our phone as quickly as you've let yours out is because we're trying to make it properly. We're trying to make sure that it's done perfected. And we've worked out all the bugs that need so many less updates than yours does, Samsung, because we have put focus into doing it right the first time. And Samsung's just looking at at Apple and saying, so, the new bendy phone, that's the new thing out, huh? So, I mean, seriously, Apple has made such a statement saying, we don't release things until much later because we're trying to show that we put quality into our work. Meh, meh, meh.
No, the funny thing is, when you said the updates, I couldn't help but giggle inside because Apple puts out more updates than practically anybody. And the reason they do that is because of people who have jailbroken phones.
Yep.
Every time they put an update, the first priority, realistically, is to stop people who have a jailbroken phone. Because once a person who has that kind of a phone, if they update, it gets rid of it. That's why Apple is always dishing out all these updates.
So it gets rid of the jailbroken side of it?
Yep.
That's pretty interesting. I didn't know that.
That's why I never updated stuff.
I don't jailbreak my phone. My tablet is jailbroken, I guess would be the term. I don't know what other term you would have it. But the reason I have that jailbroken is so I can have apps that record my screen. You can't do that without having that, and advanced functionality to kind of speed up the CPU in it a little bit. But I don't see the benefit really to jailbreaking a phone. What do you got?
Well, sir, let's see. I'll start off. Remember the iPod I mentioned earlier?
Yeah.
I had an iPod. Jailbroke it. And there's a app that's called Installous. Now, you would simply log into Installous, and you would just roam around and find things like different apps, different games, and whatnot. And you would download it all for free. So a game that would cost $20, I downloaded it for free. Movies, things of that nature, you can just download it for free.
So it's the hacker's best friend, basically.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Which is why Apple was dishing out so many updates. They were trying to get rid of it.
Sure.
But you know how it is. Once it hits the internet.
Here's the thing, though. Why don't they just make it null and void? I mean, Apple is in charge of their App Store. Why not just get rid of it?
Well, it's not on the App Store.
Oh, I see. You got it from an outside provider.
Yep. So essentially what happens is people would buy the game, they would hack it, and do whatever mods necessary, and then they would put it on Installous. They would just upload it to there. And that's pretty much how it went. Like, Apple has no control over the Installous world, essentially.
That's too bad. I mean, you'd think that they'd come out with... Now, it might not be too bad for you if you're still using Installous or whatever, but you would think that they would come out with some kind of patch to, beat that. Obviously, they're in charge of iOS, so if they decide, let's reprogram iOS not to communicate with Installous, because obviously... Their research and development department could easily go and find this Installous and stick it on a phone and run tests to make sure it doesn't work. You'd think that'd be something they would do. And then, of course,
Tim,
what's up?
I want you to imagine what I'm about to tell you. I want you to imagine you and me standing in your living room with a bat. Both of us have a bat. All right?
Okay.
All right? I am your typical hacker, and you are Apple. Okay? If you hit me in the face with that bat, and I get back up, I hit you in the face with that bat, correct? So, essentially, what I'm trying to say is that Apple will come out with a patch, and they hide it as an update. So, as soon as that patch comes out, for anyone who is dumb enough to update their phone, the hackers essentially come out with a whole other version for people to continue.
Yeah, of course.
And so what happens is Apple comes out with another patch, and then the hackers come out with another patch.
Yeah.
And this is a battle that has been going on since the beginning of time.
Which would
between Apple and people who are sitting on their house.
Yeah, which would actually make a lot of sense considering the fact that iOS has come out with so many new updates. Mavericks has come out with, I mean, so many of these things. And, of course, the new iOS 8 that's come out for any phone that's over the 4S. I think it's over the 4S. My wife can't get it, and it starts at 5S, and all that jazz. But, I mean, I've noticed that they come out with a lot of big updates that inspire you to download. And I'm sure for some of the people who are hacked and, well, have jailbroken their phones, they're looking at it going, well, it might be worth giving up jailbreaking my phone so I can have that. I don't know. I mean, the way that they seem to run things, I can see that being a possibility. I don't know. That's just me.
There was a point in time, several points in time actually, where I would look at the update and it would say something like increases battery life.
Exactly.
You know? And I'm like, what a lie. That is the only thing I could say. Just what a lie. You have nothing better to write down instead of, you should have just said, this is a pathetic attempt to stop anyone who has a jailbroken phone.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know, man. We could go into discussions all day long about the legalities of jailbreaking and hacking and illegal downloading and, you know, all that sort of stuff for a mile. And I am so indecisive about this because I feel guilty about it, but at the same time I see the sides of it on both ends. You know, it's one of those things. And yeah, I agree with you. It's an ongoing battle, and it always will be. But hey, I mean, they could just be calling up and making lawsuits the same way as this lady did about the Frozen movie. You know,
yeah, true.
It's just how it goes. And you gotta admit, if you are a hacker and you are caught by a place like Apple, there is no way you're walking away from that. No way.
Actually, there's a lot of cases where they do find someone who's been like, essentially misusing their products for hacking and whatnot. And what a lot of companies do is they actually hire them to stop other people from doing it.
That makes sense. You pay them enough money, they'll switch.
Actually, you know what? There was a story of a gentleman who he made like a virus, and he went to his local bank and he uploaded the virus to their system, and it took pennies, or it took part of pennies. Like, it didn't even take an actual penny. It would take very, 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 very insignificant amounts of money from everybody, and it put it into a separate account. Yeah. And so essentially, he was about to walk away with, you know, millions and millions of dollars. And so the only mistake that this guy made was that he tried to take it all out at once. And so the bank was like, wait, no, something's wrong here. And so they caught the guy, and that bank hired him in order to prevent anyone else from doing exactly what he did.
Have you ever seen Office Space?
No.
I dare you to watch that. It'll sound very familiar to you. That's the whole premise behind the movie Office Space. All right, man. Well, I think we should probably finish up. I really appreciate you coming on the show. And guys, once again, I apologize for my computer and however it decided to lose the audio for Aaron Blaze. I hope that we can have him back and we can come back with more. If you have anybody that you want me to interview, or you want Austin or even Chris to interview, let's go ahead and send us an email at artisancentralpodcast@gmail.com. We are still trying to find a niche where Chris can fit in. I think he's got some really good ideas with sushi tasting, because I totally would dig that, and as well as maybe doing some more weird lawsuits and maybe weird laws. I think that'd be a lot of fun. We can get him in a lot more often. And considering that this is the second podcast and we hadn't had him on the first, a lot more often actually sounds pretty often, doesn't it? So so we'll see what we can do. Chris, thank you so much again, man. I appreciate it.
Oh, no problem, Tim. No problem, man. I'm always here, man.
Oh, yeah. You always have been, man. All right. Well, we'll go ahead and end this little interview and pre-introduction of the one and only Topher, or Chris Topher. Dude, Topher is a very cool name for you. It suits you, and I don't care if you don't like it. You are the Topher. You are the Toph. You've always been the Toph.
And I will continue to be the Toph.
That's correct, because if you continue to beat me up the way you do in video games, I have a right to call you Topher. It's just as simple as that.
Fair enough, Tim. Fair enough.
All right. Thanks, man. I'll see you next time.
Alrighty, man. Have a great one. Goodbye, everybody.
.com/webcomic.com. Follow a Dot in his adventures around the internet on a webcomic that will never let you see websites the same way again.
Arms for the
poor.
Would you shut up? I'm trying to make money over here.
This is my spot.
You were not there yesterday.
This is my cup. Stop it. Stop
My
it.
cup is bigger than your cup.
Ow, my eye. Oh.
You're way over there. There's no way I could have hit you from over here. All right, that's fine. All right, guys, this is our very unique moment. We call this the Cyber Peddlers moment, and this is where we hold out our cups to you. We actually have some sponsorships that we're offering for businesses, or even for people who just want to give a shout out to their family members and leave a personal note that we'll read on the air. And then, of course, also we have our Patreon account. So if you guys want to take a look at sponsoring the Artisan Central podcast, you can go to artisancentralpodcast.podbean.com. At a future date, we're going to update that, and it'll just be artisancentralpodcast.com, hopefully, but we will keep you informed. Can you tell us a little bit about the Patreon while he munches on his gummies?
This is too sudden.
He is unprepared.
I am totally unprepared. I was going to say, if you were too cheap or forgot to get your grandmother a card and it's not going to make it there on time, you can call us.
Absolutely.
We'll do a shout out to your grandma.
That'd be a lot of fun. Yeah. And the Patreon account, we'll jump back over there real quick. The Patreon account, you can go there. It's patreon.com/Artisan Central Podcast. Patreon.com/Artisan Central Podcast. We will take donations anywhere from 50 cents up to $1 million a month, whatever you want to pay. And basically what
especially
it is...
Especially the $1 million.
Exactly.
Especially.
Basically, what we're trying to do is, this is your way of showing us how much you appreciate the podcast. It does cost money to keep this podcast running. And we need to actually get a few dollars in so we can upgrade our audio, make it sound better for you guys. We're running at a very low quality audio right now. And then also just all the other little additions that we want to put in here. We want to have people come in and do interviews with us more often. And there's a lot of things that do require money. Plus, it also helps us pull time away from a lot of the other stuff that we're doing on the side. We do a lot of...
like writing up the show.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my goodness.
And I will say this, another bonus to funding us is we will take this segment out and you'll never have to hear us beg for money again.
Yes, the Cyber Peddlers moment will be thrown to the side. You will not hear people screaming on the streets and beating each other up.
And it's like public broadcasting. It really is. Public broadcasters, they go on every, I don't know how long it is. And it's that whole month is really annoying. Yeah, it really is.
Supported with viewers like you. Thank you. Yeah,
yes. And that's the same thing. We are supported
yes.
by viewers like you that have jobs and will donate.
Yeah, and we're keeping it an audio podcast. There are other people that I know that have upgraded theirs to video podcasts. We might do that in the future over YouTube or something, but right now we're keeping it audio. That way you guys can enjoy it wherever you go. I listen to podcasts all day long at my office and stuff, and I would not be able to get away with that if I had a video podcast playing. So we want to keep it fun for you so that if you're at some place where you're bored out of your brains and you got a pair of headphones, you can enjoy the show with us. And thank you very much for spending 2 podcasts with us so far. We hope that you've enjoyed it.
Yeah, exactly.
So please go to our websites. You can go to artisancentralpodcast.podbean.com, and that's PODBEAN, podbean.com. You can go there, or you can go to actually, did I say that right? Did I say artisancentralpodcast.com/podbean.com? I don't know what I said, but it's
I don't. I was really interested in my gummies. Okay, yeah. I was really interested in my gummies. I'm sorry.
You know what he's doing is he's cleaning his palate, preparing for the soda. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
This is his saltine cracker preparing for the. So anyway, guys, we'll go ahead and end it here. But you can go once again, artisancentralpodcast.podbean.com, or you can go and take a look at our Patreon. We appreciate all the support we get there. Patreon.com/artisancentralpodcast. And thank you very much for listening.
Thank you.
Can I have a gummy?
And ladies and gentlemen, we are back for another wonderful segment on the Artisan Central podcast. Today, we are going to do a little talk about Disney films.
Oh, good idea.
What is our favorite Disney film? But we're going to do this pre-Pixar. So I know that may nix some of the ones you may have thought of.
Those are some good ones.
Well, I think traditional, since traditional animation is a lot of what we're talking about here, I think we should do traditional animation stuff. And honestly, I was growing up when the traditional art was out. I was an adult, but well, not completely. I guess Toy Story came out. I was like 15, I think, 15, 16.
Yeah, how old are you now?
Yeah. Oh, now see, you never ask a gentleman. No, 29. I'm gonna be 30 this year.
Well, I'm 27. I'm catching up to you. It's all good.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we used to hang out when we were much younger, so it's life has pulled us in an upward aging direction.
Oh, we're old men. Well, anyway,
when I had teeth.
Yeah. So what would you say would be your favorite Disney film?
Well,
that was just traditional animated.
There are so many excellent Disney traditional animations. I got to start with a story though. And the first animation from Disney that I remember seeing in the theater was in a place called Azores, Portugal. I was living overseas with my dad in the military, and my whole family was there. My dad, my mom, my sister, and I. And we went to see The Lion King in the one theater on the military base on the small island called Terceira. And it was a packed house. Everyone was excited. And that was The Lion King. And I remember just as soon as that song came up and you hear Bazabanya, and it was just so absolutely epic. And I have loved, I mean, that movie has become iconic in my eyes. My personal favorite Disney film that is animated, I would have to say it's a big tear between Treasure Planet and Lilo and Stitch. Those two, I think, are really the ones that I was most impressed with because I could totally get away with Lilo. I can do Stitch all the time, and I was just fine with that. Yeah. So, how about you, Austin?
The Treasure Planet was really good. Just the story, how they changed the story of Treasure Island for that.
I appreciated that they also did a mixture of CG animation and 2D animation together.
Yeah, that was an excellent film. I think. The one I will say that I laughed till I cried on was Peter Pan.
Oh, yeah.
And it was, there were so many parts when, the dad got hurt, when Captain Hook got hurt, and Smee, all that stuff with the crocodile coming. Mm-hmm. I remember as a kid, I would laugh till it hurt. I would be crying. It was hilarious. I will say The Lion King was very impressionable because that was one where, there was this epic death scene of the dad. And I remember it was in the newspapers, please prepare your children that a character dies and all this stuff.
Amazing, isn't it?
And then of course you go years later, they had, what was it? The Notre Dame, Hunchback of Notre Dame. Mm-hmm. And that ending in there where that guy dies and goes, straight to the bottomless pit of everlasting flame. And it was like, that is a step above. Yeah, that's like overkill. They don't even show like.
And you have to admit, if you watch the Hunchback of Notre Dame, there is so much stuff that is adult based in that. You have no idea what you're watching when you're a kid, but they geared that from the original storyline. And that was crazy. I mean,
I actually wasn't. My parents didn't allow me to see that one. My parents were very particular about which ones they would let me see and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, they nixed that one off the list. But yeah, I would definitely, Peter Pan. I really liked Aladdin.
Oh, Aladdin, of course, yeah. Genie. I hate to see Robin Williams go.
Yeah.
Genie was the best.
And then they came out with that directed
DVD.
What was it? Return of Jafar. And we got that. And when we're playing it, though, we're like, wait a second. Who's doing the voice of the genie?
Yeah.
That's not Robin Williams. And it totally
it killed the whole thing.
Yeah.
Not to mention that the parrot was such a big part of it, and that dude's voice. I'm sorry. Wow, that's special. But yeah, I'd say, man, I don't. If I'm gonna pick a favorite Disney movie that I would watch over and over, it probably would be Peter Pan or Aladdin. I mean, I really liked Lion King and stuff, but those I just know. And I know, of course, The Little Mermaid.
Oh yeah.
As a kid, we had the audio, the music for that one. That was my favorite.
I have to ask you. We'll jump off topic here, but still kind of in the same. Which Disney movie scared you the most as a kid?
Oh, easy. Snow White.
Oh yeah.
The witch in that.
Yeah.
That would, dude. When I went to the Magic Kingdom. They had the Snow White ride, and that traumatized me. That ruined my whole experience, because you'd be going through, you'd see the little, the dwarves and Snow White, and then all of a sudden the witch would pop out, the music would change everything, and I pooped my pants. I grabbed my mom so hard, I was screaming at the top. It was awful. And I think we went on Mr. Toad's Wild Ride after that, and then of course at the end of that ride there's like a demon at the end, and that it was a bad day for me. I mean, I was not a brave child anyway, but yeah, hands down, the Wicked Witch in Snow White. Yeah, every time.
It absolutely amazes me about what affects a child and what affects an adult, because we look at each other now and we go, dude. I mean, yeah, we understand that we were scared by it, and we understand that kids would be scared by it. But wow, it's just amazing to see as you grow older. You look at it, it wasn't all that scary. There was a movie, and I don't know if it was a Disney film. I think it was, but I think it was called Tom Thumb, and it was a live action film that also had claymation characters, and they had this one guy, and he was the sleeping man. And they brought a box up, and it like scooted forward magically, and it opened up, and here's this freaky little guy in there, and he sings the sleepy song, and the sleepy song makes everyone fall asleep, and it's such a cute little song, and it's just really cute. And if any of you guys know this, please email us at artisancentralpodcast@gmail. Tell us the movies that scared you. We'd be happy to read them on the air. It'd be hilarious. But
your pain, your shame, our joy
on the air. That's what makes a podcast great. But totally, that scene, as I watch it now and I look at it, I go, that wasn't scary at all. I watch it now and I realize, oh my gosh, that was just absolutely traumatizing to me, and I have no idea why. Absolutely insane.
Well, I know. I was one of those that wanted to face my fears. Now, granted, yes, when I went back to the Magic Kingdom, I was well beyond Snow White, the witch in there scaring me. But I did want to go and ride on the ride again, just to, kind of like what you did, just to see it and go, what was it that's bothered me? Yeah. Well, they tore it down. They actually replaced it because they were like, so many children were horrified by this ride. So that makes me feel better. Yeah. I was just not, because yes, I was, like I said, I wasn't a brave child, but that one. Now I know my brother, Sleeping Beauty, the witch in Sleeping Beauty traumatized him. Yeah. And now I will tell you, since we're on this, the worst Disney film, in my personal opinion, is Bambi.
Oh,
That was, I mean, it wasn't the animation or the artwork. One, as a kid, I did not understand what was going on.
Sure.
And then number two, it was just boring. I just, all the slow music and stuff. And then when they got to the Twitter-pated part,
what
exactly
word
are they talking about?
Oh my word!
I mean, I'm sure that was thanks Disney, because I'm sure a lot of kids had some questions.
All the little boys ran.
Yeah.
All the little boys ran away from the cooties, and all the little girls went and asked Mommy,
what are they talking about with Twitter pated?
Historically, they actually say Bambi, actually the year that came out, that was the lowest year for hunting license that year. So they equate that to, that movie, but that was the lowest year for hunting licenses. So.
Oh, my word.
Little fact about that movie, but yeah.
Boy.
What would you say was one you did not like?
Well, actually, when it comes to Disney films, there weren't that many that really scared me when it came to that. Now, outside of Disney films, the one that really spooked me out was one called Little Nemo. and it was a.
My wife loves that movie.
Oh, it's a great movie. It's an excellent movie. Yeah. I loved the animation. It is kind of anime based, so Asian type animation based. But what a great movie! But the dark nightmare dream thingy that comes out of nowhere and freaks everybody out. That just absolutely.
You had an issue with sleep. That's what it sounds like. Sleep scared you.
When I was a kid, us kids usually had nightlights until we actually learned that the dark was a wonderful place to sleep in. Now I can't have a light anywhere. But when I was a kid, do you remember Light Brights? It was a great big. Yeah. It was a great big light box, and you'd put a black piece of paper on it, and you'd put the little pins in it with the different colors.
We were a simple people then.
Yes. Oh, you could have fun with anything. I took that thing, and that was my nightlight. And I would poke. I had my black piece of paper, and I poked a million holes in it, and it would shine like millions of holes on my wall. The room was basically lit, and that's how I slept. I did that. I had that, and then I had a cassette with it's like 6 or 7 Christian songs on it that I listened to over and over and over.
To ward off.
And I'd wake up halfway in the middle of the night, flip the cassette over, and all the kids listening right now are like, "What's the cassette?"
Yeah.
But
DVD player, MP3 player. Oh,
exactly.
CD player. No.
Even earlier. And then, of course, they probably know what an 8-track is,
Yeah. Oh, you mean an 8-track?
I will tell you this. Okay, since we're on this topic of sleeping and being scared of the dark, the most traumatic movie for me was Jaws.
Oh, I don't know
who in their right mind decided that a 5-year-old should watch Jaws. It was my grandmother, honestly. But they showed me Jaws, which ruined the beach scene for me. It was over. Okay, we went there, and the beach was no longer a pleasant place to go.
Oh no!
And God forbid you were using a yellow floaty. Forget it. I mean, for me, you were practically asking for it. So anyway, I know that at night, and I'm talking when I got older, it's still, messed with me.
Still wakes you out a little
bit. I got
bit.
obsessed with reading about Jaws and sharks and things like that, but I used to be really slow at like turning the page.
Oh no!
Because seeing the big shark head coming, it would freak me out. Throw the book down. Yeah, I wasn't a brave kid.
Are you a fan of Shark Week now?
No, I love shark. I mean, I can deal with it now. I still, I have a lot of stories about this stuff. But anyway, I used to have a cassette player as well at my little headphones too, and I decided it would be a great idea. I had switched. At this point, I had upgraded to CDs, but the library you could rent CDs from.
Yeah.
So I rented. What was it? What was the guy who did Jaws? It was like his greatest hits. It was like the John Heyman. I forget his name. Anyway, so I got his greatest hits, and one of the tracks on there was Jaws. So I thought to face my fear, I would lay in bed in the middle of the night.
Oh no!
And play the Jaws theme.
Dun dun.
And just see how well it would go for me. Dude, I was scared to reach over the side of my bed to turn it off because I was like, I don't know. For some reason, I was like, a shark could be under my bed just waiting to pull me under. Yeah, it was the most horrific experience. I totally,
goodness.
Yeah. Most kids try to put on light brights and stuff. Me, I was trying to, I am just going to scare myself to death and maybe I'll get over it.
That's terrible.
Dumb person.
Oh my goodness, what a story. Well, I don't know about you, man, but I think that's the perfect way to end this segment. We went a little bit over what we meant to, but that's okay. We have paused this show so many times and talked about things between the episodes that I wish I could have recorded all of it and put it on the podcast. So I'm totally okay with letting that run long, and we'll just enjoy it. Let's go ahead and jump into the next big segment, which is the one that we look forward to the most, I would suggest, which would be the awesome soda tasting. And now it is time for the awesome soda tasting with Austin Thompson. Austin Thompson, please taste your poison for us.
All right. Today's poison was again suggested by Lynette Scott. She was the one who suggested the soda last time, which was the Grape Limey Ricky. It was made by Arizona. The Arizona Drink Company. Today I'm going to be trying the Cherry Lime Ricky, the version of that. So we're going to try that today, and hopefully it's better. So here we go. Crisp. All right.
So here goes the taste. Da-da-da! Which I have to say is 100 times better than the last one. Thank God. Yeah, it has a very good cherry flavor, and it has a good twist of the lime goes better with the cherry. The grape and the lime from last time do not go well together. It tastes like bug spray. And for the record, I will say this. Okay, I asked Lynette Scott, asked her daughter. Her daughter's name is Latreia. She's good friends with us. And I told her about the grape one because I felt bad because she went and got the grape one all the way across town. Mm-hmm. And she told me that she doesn't like it either. Ooh. And she agreed that it tastes like Dimetapp or like bug spray. So she agreed with me, and she said that her mom's feelings would not be hurt. And then I gave her mom back the soda, which she was more than happy to have. So anyway, just saying.
Thank you, Lynette.
Yes, thank you, Lynette Scott, very much for all your sodas. But this one, the Cherry Limey Ricky by Arizona, is fantastic. Definitely give that a taste. Next week, I'm either going to be trying one of the Shack cream sodas, if I can find it. Pretty sure I have a bud on it. If not, I will go and try the Buffalo Rock Ginger Ale, which pretty much you can only find in the South. Can't get it up here. Had to actually go and ship it up.
Oh, boy.
We do it for the fans, man.
Yes, we do.
It's all for the fans.
Yes, we do.
So anyway, if you have a soda that you would like us to try, or a non-carbonated beverage, as long as it's non-alcoholic, we will try it on the podcast and let the world know. Just simply send those emails to artisancentralpodcast@gmail.com, and in the subject line put soda, and we'll take care of that. So thank you.
Well, folks, that just about wraps it up. Remember, if you enjoyed today's episode, we would greatly appreciate your support. Check out artisancentralpodcast.podbean.com for more information about becoming a sponsor. Sponsor spots are only $5, and we would be glad to read whatever you would like to air, as long as it is clean. If you guys know my YouTube channel, we keep it clean. Advertisement for your business, or just a note to a loved one, or that big shout out that you know you'd like to do. We look forward to having you as a sponsor. Austin, would you read that second part for me?
Yes, I will. Okay, so... darn it, Tim.
That's all right. No,
I'm sorry.
Okay. That's
I'm
all right.
horrible. I don't even know where this is.
That's okay. It's on the bottom of the page.
I got you. Thank you. Okay, so to all our listeners, we bid you farewell in Swahili by saying Kwaheri. So, 3, 2, 1, we're going to say Kwaheri together, which is goodbye in Swahili. And we apologize for the enunciation. 3, 2, 1, Kwaheri!
All right, God bless you guys. We love you. Thank you for joining us for podcast number 2 of the Artisan Central podcast. Make sure you take a look at our Patreon page, patreon.com/Artisan Central podcast. And Austin, thank you very much for once again another excellent episode. And don't go anywhere, because I need you for like 600 more.
Oh, no, I'm not going. As long as you'll have me and won't fire me for several mistakes.
I think okay, here's what we're gonna do, guys. We're gonna try this out sometime. I think this is a great idea. Austin and I are both like fans of gummies, and yes. The little worm gummies, those are really good. I also tried the octopus gummies. They're not that bad either.
They are good.
Yeah, they are good, and they're cheaper because I don't think people like the idea of eating anyway, I think it's interesting. But what we're gonna do sometime is we're going to record this show as much as possible without doing any retakes. And I have to say, with this podcast, we probably did like 30 or 40 retakes. All right, that's going to be tough, but here's the benefit to us. We might want to buy like 6 bags for each of us. But what'll happen is, for every mistake that we make, or for every that we catch each other in, we have to eat a gummy. And that is going to make the podcast quite interesting. So if you guys are interested in seeing that, go for it, Austin. I see it coming.
I'm pretty sure I'll probably be doing mistakes on purpose. Then it's almost like an incentive. Thank you.
If you guys are interested, yeah, absolutely. If you guys are interested in seeing that happen, go ahead and send us an email at artisancentralpodcast@gmail.com. Let us know you're interested in that, or any other interesting candy or anything like that. We'll see what we can do. Let's just not get too gross, because we actually do enjoy gummies, so let's not... you have to eat a cockroach for every time you make a mistake. No, that's not going to happen.
No, this is not Fear Factor, yo.
No, exactly. All right. Austin, thank you once again. You're not fired. I'm going to keep you for as long as I possibly can. And we're going to work as a team until this thing sees its final days, which means I probably died. So, all right.
On that note.